Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome back to Kick Up Flicks. My name is Chris D, and I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful day. And today, as you can see, we're going over Venom Let There Be Carnage. And this was an interesting movie. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to read the synopsis first, real quick. The one that I just catch off of Google, real quick. And it says, Eddie Brock is struggling to coexist with the shape-shifting extraterrestrial Venom when a deranged serial killer Cletus Cassidy, who is played by Woody Harrelson, by the way, also becomes a host to an alien symbiote Brock and Venom and must put aside their differences to stop the reign of terror. So, okay, I saw it a little bit different. So, the way I kind of looked at it from the outside in is I don't know what Eddie Brock really does for a living or how he makes his money. First, I thought he was a photographer, but then I think he's a cop, but then I realized he doesn't carry a gun either, and I think he is a photographer, and he's a reporter of sorts, but it doesn't seem like he answers anything or posts any blog or goes to a newspaper. I'm kind of confused on like what exactly his role is, and maybe I missed it. If you do know, put it back down in the comments of, does he work for the police station or does he work for a news? We know James Jonah Jameson isn't in here, but for Spider-Man, I know it's a lot more clear that he's a photographer or doing photography type things previously, minus this new one. So moving on, the character, I think that Tom Hardy did a fantastic job playing as Venom, playing as Eddie Brock. I think it was really good. It's very hard to act like when nothing is there, and I'm telling you, it's super hard when you have to seriously act when nothing's there. Like, you have to know not only do you have to know the line, but you also have to be able to have a real kind of physical emotion to something that's either playing inside your head or quite literally whenever they call action. So in that aspect, I think he does really good. I was very entertaining. I thought the movie was really good. The comedy was great. The story, on the other hand, I didn't necessarily understand the differences between Venom and Eddie Brock. And then when Venom went into this whole rave thing, trying to understand, but at the same time still following Eddie Brock's rules and stuff like that. So I was a little confused on that aspect, thinking that when they separate, Venom would try to be Venom, realize, have this coming to, and it got really emotional and weird and different, and I just didn't necessarily understand exactly what was going on, but in the end they both needed each other. Moving on to Michelle Williams, you know what, very, very good. She very good. I really enjoyed her part, and I love her as female Venom, by the way. So I love the CGI in this aspect right over here, in the way that they move, the Venom moves around him, and how Eddie Brock is like literally there. I'm not too sure if somebody was there in green screen, which is something I would like to see the behind the scenes on, but if you know where I can get it, please let me know down in the comments, because I would definitely put some time into that. So yeah, I think it's really good, and I love this chicken. I ain't gonna lie, the chicken didn't make like the scene for me for here, but it was interesting how they used a live animal in a very safe way. Female Venom, I love it. I love how, I wonder how much more deadly a female Venom could be than a Eddie Brock Venom, because she's looks taller, but probably isn't, but looks really strong and could be very deadly. I like how simple and refined it is, but at the same time not as muscly, which I thought is really cool. Moving on to Cletus Cassidy. Well, the couple wigs did not really, the wig didn't really do much for me in the very beginning at the top of the movie. And it made Naomi Harris's character Screech a little bit forgettable, because she really wasn't too much into the movie as much as I wanted. But there was a whole lot going on when it came to Cletus Cassidy, a lot to solve, but at the same time becoming Carnage, and Carnage looked great. You know, not to repeat myself a million times, good as Carnage looked, you can't really complain too much about the Carnage. The fight scene was a little bit lackluster for me, but at the end of the day, but the character development for Cletus Cassidy, like, I understood who Cletus Cassidy was, I got it, but the backstory along with the present story and how things shifted, that was the aspect that kind of confused me, when there was a lot of things that they just kind of gave away early on. And you know, all in all, wasn't too much of a, it wasn't confusing. It wasn't, Cletus Cassidy wasn't hard to understand, but what I did find shocking is that though Carnage is supposed to be so much more aggressive, I was a little bit shocked to find him a whole lot more understanding than I thought he was actually going to be with Cletus Cassidy. Now, I'm not too sure it's because he's able to look into his mind and understand his history and stuff like that. It could be anything. But other than that, you know, from the synopsis to the actual movie, I'm trying not to give away any spoilers just in case if you haven't seen it. And I probably will do a spoiler video just because, you know, it'll give us something more details to talk about. For looks, love the movie. As far as the storyline goes, at the end of the day, it kind of lost me a little bit, but I still found it very entertaining. There's lots of small things within this trailer, within this movie that I really loved, that kept me engaged, and there were a few things that you could probably cut out and I wouldn't know that it was gone. And then you know, you had some weird cuts about some things that they probably took out, or there was more to it, but you know, maybe you see it, maybe you don't, but I want to know exactly how you feel about it, so put it down in the comments. And if you like it and you definitely want to see more of me, please subscribe, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, because trust me, it does help me out just a wee bit, and hit the bell notification for every time I post a video. Thank you so much for your time, and remember to kick up and not down. Until next time, I'll see you later.